Hi and welcome to another section of this video series on how to pass prop firms trading challenge with live examples. Boost your confidence, increase your accuracy and profitability. So without further ado, we're still on day 2. So we definitely gonna jump into our chart. If you could remember our previous video we made this morning, I placed my pending orders and then forecasted the movement of the market, the Euro GDP, the GDP USD, and I went out for other businesses. So let me just show you how it went. So let's jump right into our chart. Hey guys, if you could check, my previous balance was $5,069, but now we are on $5,139. This is so exciting. Basically, how it worked out, if you remember, you need to go back to the previous video on day 2, part 1. You need to go back and check. I basically set an order when I was expecting the price to go down when I was doing my analysis, and as such I had anticipated that this current downward move was temporal, so I placed 25 pips as against the 50 pips movement. You can go and check from our previous video from 2 hours, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. You could not, you definitely see the point where I was explaining this position. So to cut the story short, let me show you my history for the day and how the trade transpires. Okay, there we go, guys. So initially, as you can see, this was that trade. I was expecting price to come down to 25 pips, and at the same time I had my doubts because some professionals were analyzing that market was going to just keep soaring high, but I didn't. I had to hold my ground. So fortunately for me, that market closed in profit. You remember that I set another pending order here for market to pick up. Okay, so this was the pending order, so $3.30. So immediately the market picked. At that point I got a little nervous. Basically it's not that I'm nervous actually, but it's just like a change bias. It then seemed as if price was going to continue down, so I felt it was a change bias, so I immediately closed the trade, so without allowing it to take profit, which is not actually right. But then as I studied the price movement with this candlestick, it then confirmed to me that the direction I had anticipated on was actually correct. I immediately placed the trade again. You can see from this position, I immediately placed the trade. This was the trade actually. These are pending orders. Because this came last, that's why it's coming here. I immediately placed the trade again. So I wasn't sure if it was going to go up. So I targeted 25 pips as against the 50 pips initial pips I had anticipated in this course that I was going to go, because I was expecting a short movement. So basically price was struggling to break through the 200 moving average. So I had anticipated that price wasn't going to go further, but I just decided to leave the position. So basically, if you could remember, I had another sell limit order at this point. You need to go back to the video, my previous analysis to get properly what analyze, this will be very clear to you. So I basically set a pending order that at this point price was going to come down, okay, and then I did place another position here that price at this point price was going to go up. So I wasn't sure. I was sure that if price got to this point, it's going to react downward. If it got to this point, it's going to react forward. But then I left without checking my trade. It's one of the discipline I inculcate during the process. It's better I set my trade and go. Sometimes when I'm actively present, I watch the trade. I think a beginner trader or intermediate trader, it's better to go for intraday trading or day trading. It helps you to be disciplined. When you use the proper risk management, you'll be less, nervous, okay? So I placed my trades. Funny enough, the price indeed went up. This, I was supposed to make 50 pips that closed on $15 now. I eventually reduced it to 25 pips because I wasn't sure if the market was going to break the 200 level. But I knew in essence that the price is still generally tanking downwards. So, but then the whole sentiment and the community, some of the communities have been, we're just all, on the point that don't go down, don't sell, prices going upward. So one thing you need to be sure when you are trading, you need to have a firm resolve, okay? Try to improve yourself on technical analysis and hold your point. Don't listen to the noise, okay? But then I still had my point, but this time based on price movement around this place, I saw that, okay, probably it may not go as far as I expected, up to 50 pips. So I reduced it to 25 pips. Then I set a pending order at this position, that should price get here, I'm definitely sure that it's going to continue down. I was very sure that price was going to move down. If you remember, I did made reference to the 4 hours trend line, which I said you could get this at the exact position. My previous video when I talked about price having to come to this trend line and going forward before coming down, okay? And this was exactly what happened here, okay? So I expected price came down, so I bought 25 pips down, which was this 15. So my pending order here got picked, which I closed and then reopened. I got another 25 pips up, which is this 15. Then the sell trade order was at this position. I set it at 75 pips, and voila, when the price got to this point, immediately surged down. So basically my attention was called when I was hearing reaction from the FX trading community. People were saying price is moving, and I checked. When I checked and I discovered, I decided to download MT4. That was the first time. One discipline I inculcate is that I like trading on my system. If I'm not around, I put pending orders in place and leave. So because of the clamor and the news, I kept saying the news is reacting on it. So I downloaded MT4 on my phone to check basically what the market is about when I was away. And I saw all my pending orders were just falling in place. I took first profit down, I took the other profit up, then this third one came down in profit, then this fourth one peaked. That's where the challenge came. This first one peaked and I saw that we had a little drawdown. Okay, so I knew since I have had drawdown more than 25 pips, I was only willing to break even at this position because I wasn't sure how. I was very definitely sure that price was coming back up. So, but then I intended breaking even because it took so long at this place, struggling. So rather than hitting my take profit, so as soon as the price retraced here, I closed it. So what did I learn from it? If I had left and continued my job and come back, basically I have other businesses. I'm not working for anybody at the moment. I have other multi-businesses that I'm currently running. And one of it is, these are my passions, to be precise. It's something I love doing: e-commerce, fashion, among others. You'll be seeing more of them in time as we move together. Ensure you stick with me on this on this series, so you don't get to miss out other things. So back from the digression. So basically, when the price came back here, I refused to let it trade. As at then, I was already up by 160. The price already gave me 160. So I closed $160. So I closed the trade here in profit, just 6.6 without taking target. If I had left it at this time, I would have been over 200. Okay, so that's one of the things I learned from today trade. Okay, I'm not supposed to, when you set the trade and you are not available, don't be tense, just let it go and come back. Use proper risk management, which is what I've been teaching you in this course. So I decided to close for two reasons. Because I have achieved my target for the week. Don't forget that the target is 8%, which is 400, and minimum daily pips is 25 to 50 pips. And this time around, I was already way over 100 pips. My initial balance was $562.69, but this time it was over $5,160. So I decided to close that trade, and my minimum weekly target is 100. So I decided not to be greedy by closing the trade. So that was why I stopped it here. But then I now saw the price moving, and another advantage. So I decided to take the opportunity again. Okay, this time around outside. For the first time in my trading career, I'll be picking up a trade using my mobile device, MT4. So I took up a trade. Okay, here's where the sad thing came about. So I took up the trade. I was just trying to get familiar, use the head knowledge of trading MT4 on PC on my mobile. So I took the trade. I took the trade unknowingly for me. Instead of one trade opening, I never knew how I opened 3 trades simultaneously with 0.2. But then that was where the whole shit started from. And I was so not it. One of my rules is 1 trade at a time. Okay, I can set in up and downward direction, but when the up triggers, the other goes down. Basically, I like hedging my trades, but given the standard and the rules, you're trading for a prop firm. Some of them discourage hedging, although it's supported by MyForexFunds, and some of them as well would not allow bi-directional trade in one currency pair. So because of that reason, I had to readjust my strategy. So I make sure I take 1 trade per time. So on my mobile, trying to open just a single trade, and I eventually opened 3 simultaneously at a time with 0.6. It was a bit too much for me to take. So I decided to close the trade as well without allowing it to run. So hence the reason why I made some of these losses. You can see $5, you can see $7, you can see 7.14, 7.6. I closed it immediately. Okay, initially I was anticipating for this sell. I closed it immediately and decided that I would not trade on my phone. It's better I closed it and reduce than allow it to run, because first on the mobile I'm yet to be fully acquainted with using my mobile for trading. Okay, and I like to keep trading separate when I'm running other businesses. So the mobile kind of came with a distraction. I was in between trying to, fulfill some of my demands, customer demand, process orders, and I was also looking my trade. So I wasn't that focused. So then I placed that trade, then I realized that this is a wrong move. I'm not supposed to be trading while I'm doing other thing, distraction, and moreover, I didn't have more chance to check some of my analysis. I haven't been acquainted to basically how to do that on my phone, so I had to close the 3 trade. So I dropped down from $160 $60 to $139, and I'm happy that I did, but it was a bit very sad for me. The reason why it's sad for me, I had hoped that I will be able to run this training series on a clean sheet. If you notice, I have been trading from the very onset without losing any trade. Before closing those trades in losses, I had taken up to, you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive trades without losing any of it. So I wanted to keep a clean sheet. So I was a bit, facing a kind of dilemma to leave the trade just to prove the point that I did not lose any trade, but then I had to take some drastic decision by closing it, accept my loss, and look forward to moving on. So that's one of the things you have to make some drastic decision when the time comes. Okay, don't get yourself stuck in a particular, don't be stereotyped. Just get a fixed system that works and try to be disciplined. Okay, if I was disciplined, my goal was to close this trade and only check back when I came back. Okay, that's one thing I need you to know. Even professional traders do have some of the deterring feelings that young traders do have. So how do you manage it? You need to find your spot and be disciplined. One of mine is this. For now, I would not miss trading with other business. When I am out of this trade, I just go without checking it on my phone. So I deliberately did, but I broke that rule today and it cost me some little cent. And basically I lost $21, the 3 trade because of that. And that's just all there is to it. In the game of FX, it's a win-lose situation. But so far so good, it's been very impressive. So let's see how we'll be able to continue to see if we can meet up this challenge. For now, we've been able to, pass our weekly target in just 2 days. Don't forget, this is just 2 days, okay? This is day 2. Although the market has closed for today, we are about entering I think we're already in the Asian section. So I'm just recording this after now, and currently I have a trade open. I am targeting 25 pips. This would not go deeply. So forecast for those who may want to, use my analysis as a form of a conference with your own details. This is GBP USD. I'm expecting this price to come down a little bit and then the market will sort up. I don't think it will come down that much anymore. Okay, I don't think the market will come down that much anymore. I think it's still going to go up. So I'm just scalping out a little profit from this. I hope I'll be able to close here. Then after now, I'll maybe by the morning, if this position hasn't been hit, even now I may likely set a pending order to buy at this point. But at the same time, this position will be a little bit risky for me. Okay, so that's basically how I see it. So I basically have two sell limits on. One is currently active and I'm already in profit. You can see from here already the same 5 stuff. You can see 510 here. I just hope it hit my profit, and this downward move is temporal. I'm expecting it to go up a little bit from here, but then we may have to see what the market tells. And another support, you should know, there's been divergence on this position. Checking with my Stoopfecry special advisor, you will see that price is tanking down here, and you can see there is divergence. Okay, this is lower low, this is the first low, and this is the other low. When you check this position here, you see that price is lower here, but price is lower here, but it's a bit higher than the previous position. This is divergence. The RSI is moving upward, while at this position price was going downward. This is to tell you that the market indeed is preparing for change in direction. So I'm expecting an upward movement from this position, but then there's still going to be downward retracement. But so I'm anticipating that it will get this far before it starts going, but it may likely come to this point. It may likely trace down to this point before it starts going upward. Okay, there's going to be some wrestling, how do you call it? We are going to experience some kind of range form of movement going forward from this position, because the buyers will be trying to buy the market, while the sellers will still be trying to go short. Okay, so we are going to have a range going forward from this position, and whichever one wins, most likely it will favor the buyers over time, but temporarily it has to favor the sellers before it starts going upward in the long run. So we'll be looking at for this position, and I'll be giving you heads up from my next video. Thank you for watching, and make sure you follow this channel and do the needful. Subscribe if you need to, and so that you don't miss out on my daily analysis and how it goes. Going forward from this, we are going to take up other challenges. The Blufx, we are going to take FTMO, and we'll take fivers, and we'll be coming back to the MyForexFund to take the 300,000 challenge. You would see definitely that this whole FX is basically not based on the currency. Now you may be looking at I'm making little cash, so I don't deserve your attention. So you are running to you may want to be attracted to those who are making billions. So that was the first confusion that I faced when I started trading. We're looking at basically how to hit it big, and the painful thing there is that they keep on doing it. People you watch on YouTube, you see them showing you how they made 10 billions, 10,000 in one trade, and you just get swayed. They deceive us, they deceive traders, and it's not actually deceived, it's actually correct. But basically, for you to be successful in trading, it involves you starting in a very small way and growing steadily. If you come with the mindset of getting rich quick, or making it overnight, you may be you may be disappointed with the outcome, because you're going to get your account blown off. I'm speaking to you from experience. I once had that emotion, and I learned from my experience. Basically, they say all traders, failure in trading is part of your learning. But I believe it's still possible for you to be successful without you having to fail, if you are diligent to follow the right instruction, which is what I'm showing you now. This same method we're using here will be applicable for a 1 million fund manager account, a 100,000 account, you name it, okay? And I'm going to be proving that to you, okay? Even though this whole system ends in a loss, it doesn't mean the system doesn't work. One of the things that really builds stability in trading is for you to pick something, test it, and stick with it. Be stable. There will come a time where all strategy, the market defies it. But if you have proper money management scheme in place, which is what I'm doing now, showing you by examples, you will see that you will always pass that time. You know that it's a season. You pass the time, even though we fail consecutively. Then you will grow eventually. You see how I'm starting with 0.6, you see how I'll be able to achieve the target. So it doesn't necessarily mean because it's a challenge, you need to start with something big, and it's 2% and the rest. That anxiety would make you blow out your account. Build it gradually. Next week, we can take it up a little bit. You see how we achieve it. So guys, endeavor to stick with me on this channel, and do well to smash the like button, share, and subscribe if you enjoy what I do. Thank you for watching, and looking forward to seeing you